Berlin-based Sauerbruch Hutton are famous for their synthesis of color and form. Now they've been honored with the German Architecture Award.
Louisa Hutton and Matthias Sauerbruch love modern art. It's evident in their office in Berlin and in their buildings. The window of their new church on the edge of Cologne recalls animated photo art. This is the first church the German-British architectural team ever built. And now it's won them the German Architecture Award.
For every architect to have the opportunity to design a church, whatever one's own personal religious beliefs are or aren't, is a gift. I mean, it's the most fantastic brief to have.
The church was completed 2 years ago. For both worshippers and the many architecture fans who make pilgrimages here, the space has a powerful impact. Its materials are deliberately simple, with an emphasis on sustainability. Pre-cut pieces of Finnish larch wood divide the space, which is brought to life through the use of light and the colourfully lacquered boards on the altar wall. The use of colour is Hutton and Sauerbruch's trademark. The colour blocks are usually arranged vertically. In Munich, ceramic rods form the facade of a museum. A curving wall of ceramic tiles covers an administrative building in Hamburg. Wood, metal and glass adorn the facade of the Federal Environment Agency in Dessau.
We distinguish between colourful and the deliberate use of colour. Colourful is bright and random. The use of colour is very controlled and deliberate. We work with an eye for the urban context. That's why our Berlin Alexanderplatz building is reserved in its use of colour. The surroundings are already so colourful.
The base of the building also seems reserved at first glance. But on closer look, the dark surface is made up of 9 different colours. Louisa Hutton and Matthias Sauerbruch are married, and they live and work close to the centre of Berlin. They've modernised and expanded an old military building. Once grey military uniforms were sewn here. Today, the architects in the building experiment with colour to bring more variety into the monochromatic grey of the city. They've also done this in London. Louisa Hutton, who is originally from England, shows us Sauerbruch Hutton's first major project in the city. It's not as obviously showy as many other new buildings in downtown London. Rising to 10 floors, it is reserved in its use of colour. The interior of the future Japanese bank building is still under construction. But we're permitted a short visit to the roof terrace.
When we were working on this building in terms of the polychromy or the use of colours, we were very much looking at the colours in the local context, including there's the brick building at the end of the Old Bailey down here, so in fact not too colourful. We made an exception on this facade just behind me, which is the south facade, which is very narrow and tall, receives a lot of light, particularly in the morning. And so for this reason, we put a lot of gold on this facade to emphasize the light reception of it.
Other sections of the building also make references to its neighbours. In the main entrance on the north side, the architects made a stylistic nod to the building across the way. London's famous criminal court, the Old Bailey.
And we wanted to do it in Portland stone, which is obviously a beautiful natural material and very much a London stone, and in particular the Old Bailey is built out of it. We wanted to do something very three-dimensional that would catch the light coming from the sides and develop this pattern, which was then cut by water jets.
This too is characteristic of Sauerbruch Hutton's work. Curving facades that lend an appearance of lightness to their buildings.
These curves create a sudden sense of dynamism, which gives an impression that the entire building is in motion and wants to escape, like an animal from a cage. So you don't feel it's just another block standing here. Instead, it takes on a kind of living quality.
Matthias Sauerbruch has just returned from Italy, where a museum for modern art is being built in Mestre, an industrial suburb of Venice. The museum will help the district emerge from the shadows of the historic jewel just across the channel. With projects in Stockholm, Paris and many other European cities, Sauerbruch and Hutton are among the most successful German architects. They've achieved everything architects dream of. Do they still have big plans for the future?
Of course.
Plenty of them. For example, we'd really like to build a school.
And a kindergarten, I think, would be great. We took part, was it just in one kindergarten competition? Two? Yeah. Here in Berlin, we didn't win them, but I think it's great to plan for young children. I mean, they're so intuitive in the sense of their reaction to space. It's fantastic, so that would be a pleasure as well.
The architectural team is also thinking about how to build better housing for refugees. Perfect design paired with social responsibility. That's also part of the Sauerbruch Hutton trademark.